when all there was sky. But my dreams always said, it's time to die. So why is it so fashionable? In every landscape lies a purpose, and all the creatures will survive. If the truth were known, I think I'd have to say.
Well, okay. I'm going to try to say something in about 9 minutes. Well, there we were, out shooting our guns out in the middle of the wilderness. And as we were driving back, I saw a waterfall, and I said, as I know, there's always things happening around waterfalls, and I don't know why. I think it's some kind of electrical thing with water and quartz and granite and all that kind of stuff. But I had this feeling to check out this waterfall. So I got out and I grabbed my camera, and I left my keys in the car and everything, and walked over to the waterfall. And while I was down at the waterfall, I was with my buddy here, and we were both shooting and stuff that day. And so we walked down to the waterfall, and I said, oh wow, that's kind of weird. I kind of see footprints. So I followed them and walked about 10 feet down the stream, and I saw a bunch of boulders across the stream. So I said, I'm always interested in going checking out boulders. So I said, okay, I'm going to go see what's up there. And I walked up through the woods, and my friend saw me, could see me from where he was standing, and he was down by the stream picking up flat rocks for steps and stairs and stuff like that at our house, my house. But anyway, he could see me, and I went up to the top of the boulders, and I was finding things on the way, like signs of my guys again. So I get to the top, and I round the boulders, and I come back down on the other side of the boulders, and I come back down to meet my buddy there, and I get to the stream, and I see all this action happening, all this digging all over the place, and I actually filmed footprints and all this kind of stuff, and it was just like surreal. Anyway, so I said, okay, well, I'll just walk over here and round this corner, and my buddy will be there. Well, I don't know what happened, but next thing I knew, I was walking through the mountains. It sounds really silly, but I don't know why I was walking through the mountains. I was just really calm and stuff, and I was just wandering through the mountains. And anyway, every once in a while I'd think, wow, what am I doing? Where am I? And I couldn't really, it didn't really bother me. I just kept on walking. And so it seemed like I walked for, I don't know, a couple minutes or something like that. But anyway, at one point I finally decided, I'm lost, this is really getting serious. I mean, I'm lost out in the wilderness here without anything. I had no gun with me, I had no water, I had no food, I had no knife, I had a video camera. I mean, I only walked it seemed like 50 feet off the track, went around some boulders and came back down, and I ended up in the mountains. Anyway, so this would seem, pretty normal. Well, my friend, seeing me go up to the top of the boulders, decided to follow me. And so he followed me all the way up to the top of the boulders. He could see my tracks, came around the other side. He came around exactly like I did. He came to the water, exactly saw my footprints, saw all the other footprints that were there. And so he knew the way back too. I mean, it was just right there, So he went. Next thing you know, he was lost in the woods. Well, the funny thing was, when I finally came out of the woods, I finally had this funny feeling that I should just take this left. And finally, I came out to the road again. But I was like 2 or 3 miles up the road. And at the same time, I didn't know this, but at the same time, he had a feeling that he should, what was he doing, and all that kind of stuff, and he took a right or left or something, and he ended out at the road, but he was like a mile down from the car, down the opposite direction. So we were like 4 miles apart, just somehow. So anyway, we get back to the car and all that, and I'm looking at my watch, and I'm going, wow, it's 11:30. And I think it was only like 9 when we were down by the water there. So something happened anyway. So that was really strange, but the funny thing was that when we got back, the rest of the day we were talking about it, and it was like there was no memory of like what happened. It was just like, I remember crossing the stream and thinking, all I have to do is just go here, you know, a couple, maybe 20 feet, and there will be the truck and all that, I'll see it and all that kind of stuff. And next thing I know, I was aware of just being out in the middle of the forest, I was walking uphill, just walking through the forest, and I felt so calm and stuff, and not afraid of anything, but I don't remember thinking anything. So anyway, what we just had was a weird experience. Something happened, and we're going to definitely go up there again. We're going to bring all our gear and all that kind of stuff and try to figure this out. Definitely cams are going to go out there and all that. But that was weird. It was like Twilight Zone. Went around the boulder, and next thing I know, I'm out in the middle of the woods walking up some mountain. And my buddy is way far away the other way. Alright, so to most people this would just seem, you know, bizarre and all that kind of stuff, but in my life, things like this have happened all the time. It's just ridiculous. There's this other forest I go in, and I can sit there for, what I think is maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I end up being in there 7.5 hours, and I don't know what I did. And the videotape that I've taken is always gone when I get home. And this happened the same way. When I got down to the stream and crossed it, I thought I was still videotaping. And in my mind, I thought I was just walking through the woods videotaping. And I remember seeing things like footprints and things like that, but I didn't have a clue why I was way out there. I wasn't supposed to be out there. All I did was just take a little jaunt around a few boulders. Just walked up the hill a little bit, came back down, came around the other side, and came back down, and ended up just somewhere else totally. So we are trying to figure out what to do about that, how to think about that. Obviously, we're going to have to do some old watch tricks and camera tricks and all that kind of stuff, and have sound things on us and leave them on and see what happens. And it's just weird. We're going to bring GPS this time if it'll even work. But that was just strange. I cannot believe it that I was just walking through the mountains, and I was 3 miles away from where I was. It seemed like minutes, an instant, and I don't even have a clue why I was there. And my buddy had the same thing. He was, like I said, he was just off in his own world, dream world, and he can't really remember either. So that's what's happening. On the other things that are happening, I've got cams out at where I had to get the lights and all that kind of stuff. This time I have sound that goes with the lights, hopefully. And I'm about to go to a different place in a day or two, maybe tomorrow. And I'll put out another cam. I gotta go find the white hair that I'm looking for still. They hide it, as you know, and they leave it out for a little while, and they scoop it all up sometimes and hide it. They haven't been doing that lately because I guess they figure, they let me find it, and then I take it from there. I follow the tracks, which way they're going, and all that kind of stuff, and blah blah blah. So anyway, that's called Missing Time, and it's very interesting and all that kind of stuff, and I can't wait to try to figure this out, which just adds another area to my areas, which doesn't help, but at least I got a bud here. He's back from Afghanistan, and he's ready to rumble, get out there and truck around and discover things, try to figure out things.